Today, I'm joined by Dhardra Blake, CEO and founder of Luxury Day Charters, to talk about wellness on the water, luxury yachting experiences, and why chartering may be far more affordable than you think. Let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome to the Cinnamon Effect podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Hand, and I'm thrilled to have you with me on this vibrant journey of discovery and growth. This podcast is your go-to space for embracing intention, where you'll find clarity on your unique path, deepen those meaningful connections, and unleash your creativity like never before. We'll explore how to build unshakable confidence and celebrate the beauty of gratitude, all while savoring the calm that consistency brings to our lives. Thank you for being with me. Let's sprinkle a little cinnamon into your day and make life sweeter, healthier, and more fulfilling. Dhardra Blake.
You said it perfectly. My mother would be so proud.
You got to tell me the story behind the name Dhardra. I
She
love
made it up, actually. I get asked a lot, I'm sure. Dhardra. She was thinking Sandra along the lines, but with a D, and just came up with Dhardra.
I love it. What's your middle name?
Marie.
Okay.
Easy.
Yeah. Dhardra Marie. But I like it because it's kind of daring. It's
when I
fearless.
was younger, I wanted to be Lisa, but with an E. But now, as I got older, I definitely embrace it. It's different, right? It's great for branding.
Yes. And you probably have never met another Dhardra.
I have not. No.
Yeah.
My sisters got off easy, Jennifer and Nicole.
Oh, really? No, I think yours is more fun. Sorry, sisters. But
I like it. Thank you.
I know. It's funny how names kind of go in like cycles, because my mom sent me this thing in the year I was born, 1980. Like Kimberly was like number 17 in popularity.
Okay.
Pretty popular.
Right.
Nobody's naming their daughters Kimberly anymore.
Wow.
It's just kind of gone.
Right. And it's funny because when I get an email or something from a client and I can tell by the name, their age range.
Oh, yeah.
Kendall or, you know what I mean? Like these younger generation names. So
the influencer.
Exactly.
Are you getting a lot of influencers booking like yachts?
Put it this way. I get calls for influencers that want to barter a yacht. Most of the owners want money for the boats to go off the dock. So that doesn't necessarily happen. I do get calls. Yes.
Okay.
Put it that way.
Yeah. So funny enough, we have a mutual friend.
Okay.
Sam Monis.
I love Sam.
Sam's the best. Do you know her from FSU?
We did not know each other at Florida State. I was hosting a Florida State gathering. I think it was for a football game or something at Grotto because Averill and Clay went to Florida State, which I didn't know them at school, knew them later. Do you know Averill and Clay?
No.
Okay, Buchan.
Oh, okay.
So Chef Clay.
Oh, yes,
Chef
exactly.
Clay.
And well, he's famous in these parts.
I know, right? Exactly. We just went to the opening of Buchan in Coral Gables.
I saw that.
So fun. But I was hosting something there, and another friend up here said, do you know Sam? You should invite these people. And it's like, I don't. So yeah, that's how we met initially.
So funny. So my husband went to FSU also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
He knew Sam and Ross there.
Okay.
The little age difference there. So my husband just turned 51. But yeah.
Keyword little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. No, I love her and I love what she does. And I'm, a big fan and client of hers as well. So
yes. So we're going to talk about wellness on the water and what you do. But let's kind of start at the beginning of like yachting. How did you get into this business? Like, it's so interesting to me.
It's a little crazy. It's one of those stories where I've done a little bit of everything. My LinkedIn will show you that. Followed different opportunities. And I was living in New York City, working for ESPN. And actually, funny, talking about names, someone wrote into us once, they named their child Espen. They called him Espen, ESPN.
Oh my God.
There were actually a few of those. I know. Anyway, poor kid. Maybe, I don't know, unless they're a huge sports fan when they grow up.
Yeah. Did they add a vowel in there or it just kept it ESPN?
Literally, yes.
Wow.
ESPN. I know. We laughed about that. But it was great.
That's
right?
amazing. Yeah.
Flattery. So I was working for ESPN and my youngest sister called me and said, I'm coming up with my girlfriend whose cousin worked on a boat. And they were docked at the North Cove Marina down at behind the World Trade Center, original World Trade Center. And they had a week off. They had a charter for Tommy Mottola and Mariah Carey. They had a week off. So invited us down, went down for a drink on the boat. I remember I walked on the boat and here comes this, woman. Now everybody's seen Below Deck, right? Because the show is out.
Yes.
People kind of understand the industry. It's not this real secret industry anymore. And she's walking towards me in uniform. And I thought to myself, wow, this is a job. People do this for a living. And I always kept that in the back of my mind. I worked in, hospitality for years, putting myself through college, what have you, managed a nightclub in Atlanta during the Olympics, a little bit of everything. And so I kept it in the back of my mind, and one thing led to another. My department with ESPN disbanded, basically. They kind of gave up the property where they were. They were leasing it. They put some people in over at ABC on the Upper West Side. And I did not want to move to Bristol. I was a single girl living in New York City, and great roommates, great apartment. And so I ended up going over to ABC for a little bit, kept my benefits under Disney.
Are you like behind the scenes? Are you in front of the camera? What are you doing?
I was working as an executive assistant for a gentleman who's amazing. He's a client to this day. But so I worked as his assistant for 2 years. And then, like I said, I ended up going over to ABC to keep my benefits under Disney. And I worked for about a year. I worked for the executive vice president of movies and miniseries. And it sounds so fun, but she was in LA the entire time. I was pretty bored, to be honest. I filed scripts and I answered phone calls for actors and actresses that wanted to be in the movies. So I left ABC and I went to work for an internet marketing company. It was great, lots of fun. I was the 14th employee. We had massages every week. It was one of those down in Tribeca, so much fun. And then the internet bubble really, took off, and they hired some Russian programmers. A lot of us were let go, laid off. And then I went down to help my sister, stay with my sister for a little bit at a restaurant she was running, just to kind of get out of town and figure out what was next. And then 9/11 happened. And I said, well, I'm not going to go back to New York City now. The job market was just kind of crazy. It was crazy, as everyone knows.
Yeah.
And so I said, I think I'm going to go work on a yacht for a year and ride out this recession on the water and just kind of take it from there and see what happens.
And you did.
And I did.
Like below deck style. Were you like chief stew? What was your position?
I did. I ended up doing stewardess initially, yes, because I said, I've worked in bars and restaurants, and this is easy. And I'm a Virgo. We're very organized, detail-oriented. And this was kind of like a perfect no-brainer job for me, if you will. It was a lot of work, don't get me wrong. But it just, it didn't take too much manpower, brain power, right? And so it was easy just to kind of figure out what was next. Ended up falling in love with the lifestyle. I mean, you're traveling, you're getting paid to travel, you're seeing different locations. Again, it's work hard, play hard. And then next thing you know, 1 year turned into 10 years.
Wow. So you hung with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually had a friend run for office, a friend from college, and so ended up helping him on his political campaign. So I ended up doing yachting and politics back and forth for 10 years. People say that should be the name of my book, Yachts and Politics.
You probably should, because it just seems so, well, maybe there's crossover there.
Opposite ends of the spectrum, but then I loved it. I mean, what's not to love, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're making good money, you're traveling. I mean, it's great for a, single person, no kids, no dogs, and meeting people from all over the world. That's kind of like one of the most amazing aspects of the yachting industry. You meet people from all over the world, you make great friends, like they say in college, right? But this is international.
Yes.
And so actually my friend Adam, whose campaign I worked on, he's now the president of FAU, the Owls.
Oh, yeah,
FAU,
FAU. I was an owl.
Oh, okay, yeah. FAU, Adam Hesner. Yep, he's great.
Nice.
So he won State House rep 2 terms. So I would kind of bounce back and forth between yachting and politics. After his campaign, I got called to go work on something else. So I was working on the governor's race in Tampa. Years ago, Senator Rod Smith was running for governor. And then I go back to the boats and then, just travel more, what have you. And then I ended up working, a gentleman was running for, he would see me out at all the events working on Rod Smith campaign. And so he ended up hiring me to help him on his campaign. And he was big into alternative energy, bought an RV that he converted to run on vegetable oil.
Oh, interesting.
And that was, so we took that RV and drove it, connected with Bonnie Raitt and drove it up to DC.
Oh my God,
and
I love
fried
Bonnie Raitt.
made French fries out in the parking lot and gave them away to concert goers. And then, took off and followed her back to the next concert. So that was fun. People were like, what is going on?
Sounds unhinged, but I love it.
Yeah, it was a little interesting. It was off the wall, but fun. And then, so yachts and politics back and forth for about 10 years. And then I turned 40. X amount of years ago.
Yeah.
And I decided, okay, I need to figure something else out. What's the next plan? Because, I'll be 80 cruising the high seas, having so much fun. Time is going by, you're traveling, what have you. So then I ended up answering an ad randomly. I said, just to transition back to land, let me figure out, till I can figure out what's next. Took a job as a executive assistant again, or personal assistant. When I went to meet the hiring person, turns out he was a yacht broker. And then he had a small day charter division. So I helped him grow that. And then I ended up, I don't know, I hate to say this, but I found out he had the worst reputation in the industry.
Oh.
People would say, I just can't get a straight answer. He is just kind of like that car salesman. Anyway, so I ended up leaving him and starting my own company. And 15 years now this year.
Wow.
So I kind of took a leap. There was a gentleman who had a boat in his fleet. And, he said to me one day, he's like, what are you doing? You need to start your own company. He's like, let's go.
You're a go-getter.
He's like, time to go. And so, well, okay, what do I need to do? He says, just sign up for, an EIN and get yourself a website. Luxury day charters was available. Couldn't believe it. And so off I went.
Wow.
And just started, networking. And I knew people in different areas of the industry from doing different things as well. I did some marketing. I also volunteered for a nonprofit. We delivered supplies around the world to people in need via Yachts. Did a lot of disaster relief work as well.
Wow.
So and just kind of followed that, and it was great. And he ended up leaving and starting his own thing as well on the wholesale side. And so I worked with him for many years. Sadly, he passed away about 3 years ago from just a random heart attack, but really helped me in, starting my company and sort of like kicking me out of the nest and figuring it out.
So when you start your business, you don't have to own boats, but you have to have access to boats.
Correct. So basically we're like a real estate broker for yachts, right? So instead of homes, the boat is the asset. That's what we're renting or selling.
Okay.
Chartering really is the word, but renting, a lot of people, it makes more sense. They understand that a little bit better.
Yes. And is this, it's luxury day charters, but are
.com.
you...
Since I worked for an internet marketing company, that's why I decided to name the company a .com. Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, the actual
so the internet
name
company.
Is,
yes.
Okay. I love that. So is it primarily you rent a boat for the day, or do you do longer trips?
So I started my company focusing on day charters because all of the large companies, their minimum was 1 week. And here's the key point. Not everyone has the time, right? They might have the money, but they don't have the time for a week or longer. They might not, right? Some do, some don't. So there was that market there that there was a hole, there was an opportunity. And so while there are a lot of boats that charter by the day, not necessarily the luxury experience, right? That the larger boats offer. Fully crewed, catered, if someone wants a chef, the whole 9 yards. It's basically, we curate based on what somebody is looking to do, based on the experience they're looking to have. So when I started my company, actually, of course, a lot of naysayers in the beginning, and I love a challenge, let me prove you wrong, really was kind of my mindset. I always think of this one old school broker that said, oh, day charters, party people, they'll ruin the boats. But now we're 15 years in. Some companies have tried to hire, some have tried to buy, and now a lot of these bigger companies actually have day charter divisions.
Wow.
Because in my opinion, what's the goal of, a lot of these companies? Either you're going to charter to someone or you want them to buy a boat, right? Well, how do you get them to buy a boat? They have to get on the boat to start.
Try it out.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I do work with a lot of sales brokers, try before you buy, something like that, direct clients. We just had clients out at the Palm Beach Boat Show that were looking at boats and they wanted to try something out based on what they were looking for to buy. So that was great. And I like to say to that broker, well, here we are 15 years later, and our clients are a lot of referrals. We have very high-end, amazing repeat clients, sports team owners, professional athletes, corporate CEOs, celebrities, like name it.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Runs the gamut. And
you found that niche
exactly
in the market, yeah.
And COVID really, the industry blew up a little bit. I mean, as far as like the charter business, because everybody wanted to be outside. Nobody knew what was going on. And Europe was closed, right? The first year. We had, as far as the time is concerned, we have great billionaire clients who say, I can't get my kids and grandkids together for more than a day. So it's a great option. And Europe was closed. People's boats were in Europe. They couldn't get to Europe. So they were booking boats in the Hamptons and Palm Beach and, Miami and the Bahamas and a little bit of everywhere. And we do book worldwide, actually. So
and that was my next question.
Yes.
So worldwide.
We have we have boats on an MLS. We have an intranet basically for charter brokers. And so I just plug in where someone's looking to book. I booked one of my top clients when she was filming a couple summers ago, in a random location.
So interesting.
Yes.
So you have just relationships with people that are in these other countries and you can tap into that.
Other brokers, exactly. And so there's a big broker network, which is great. Boat shows are a great opportunity to meet other charter brokers as well. Also, fam trips. We were honored to be invited on the Christina O, which is a 325-foot historic iconic yacht, basically Aristotle Onassis, if you remember.
Yes.
And that was a magical experience. Last year, January, in Costa Rica for about 5 days. So I was one of 22 brokers. So basically the boat invites the brokers to experience what charter guests will experience. So you're wined and you're not. Exactly. I mean, it's an amazing experience in and of itself, but that boat specifically, and my boyfriend introduced me to that boat. He was so jealous.
Wow. Oh, and he didn't get to go? You didn't get to bring him, just
It was sort of a last minute situation because we found out maybe November about the opportunity. The boat had booked a charter for Christmas and New Year's in Costa Rica. I mean, it mainly stays in Greece, in Europe, around there. So the owner said, let's get as many people as we can on to see the boat and experience the area. So that was great. I'd been down to Costa Rica before, just when I worked on another boat passing through there. So that was amazing. So one of 22 brokers, and I met brokers from all around the world, and we're doing business, now, which is great. So it's great to be able to meet people face to face. So that's good. And then, you know them, you trust them, and then you can work with them for their fleet if they have specific boats as well.
Is there like a minimum footage? Is that what you would call it? Like length of a boat? Or is it really you can get your hands on any kind of boat?
Pretty much anything. Okay. And we work with, there's some higher end hotels that we work very closely with that just are looking for a boat for maybe 2 hours for a cocktail cruise or a sunset cruise. So we had to find some smaller qualified boats, and we work with those as well.
So do you do a lot in St. Bart's? It's one of my favorite places.
I've done some. I'm actually working on a few things right now. Yep, for the holidays.
Oh gosh, yeah,
yes.
I love it there.
It's amazing.
Just so amazing.
Yes,
yeah.
It
Some
is
of the
amazing.
boats coming through there are just insane.
Right. You can Google all day long.
Yes.
As far as your eyes.
Yes. So what's so funny? I mentioned this to you that I saw luxury day charters on Instagram, and I would see you. I think I started following you, and I would see you comment on different like celebrities, just their post. And I would be there to comment too, and I'd be like, "Who is this luxury day charters? Like, we're into the same people,
right?
Like, who is this person?"
That's funny. That's funny. I love it.
So I feel like I kind of connected with you in this weird way. Like I would see you make a comment or something, and then we found out we had a mutual friend. But I just always thought it was funny. Like, oh, you're like on Bethany Frankel, you're posting there, and I'm commenting as well because I love her. I'm a big fan of hers.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm sure you have some very famous, probably under NDA for a lot of them.
A lot of them. Yes. Molly Sims was very gracious to post and tag a couple summers ago. That was great. Yep. Up in the Hamptons. So that was great. Yes. I mean, I wish, it'd be great. It's great for marketing and branding to be able to, name your clients and who trusts you. But unfortunately under NDA with many.
Molly Sims. She's so cool and down to earth. She's great. To be. Yeah.
And she's a business owner as well. Yeah. Right. So she understands, when you're growing a business and small business and that type of thing as well.
Yeah. She gets it.
Nick Roldan, one of our local polo players, he's great. And so he'll post and tag, which is great. Just got married actually.
Oh, that's cool. I know exactly who that is.
Yeah. So he's great. They're great. That whole group is so fun.
That's awesome.
Yep. They like to let loose in a good, fun, positive way. So we love to get them on the water when we can. Who else? It's hard, really.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I get it.
But one of my top clients, started out in highly, highly, highly successful and famous person, but started out with a day charter. So this is the point, my point, I feel like. Started out with a day. And just moved up every year, more days, longer, what have you, bigger boats. And last year, we booked them on almost a 200-foot boat for a week.
Wow. So let's talk about, because something you mentioned to me was that yachting can be more affordable than a lot of people think.
Yes.
So I'm dying to know about this because I love me a big boat.
Yes. Exactly. So what we do is, how we work with clients is we say, tell us, like I said, we curate the experience, right? So let us know how many people, how many hours you're looking for, like what's your perfect scenario? And then what are you looking to spend? And then we'll match you with the best boat for that. And like I said, we do work with some smaller boats now. So honestly, starting at maybe $2,500 plus tax and gratuity. You can bring your own food and alcohol, and then it just goes up from there.
Yeah. And you could have a small gathering or something on there. Like, I think that's such a great idea for a memorable occasion or a birthday or anniversary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do it on the water.
Yeah. Do it on the water. I'm so into that. I love that.
And we also work with, so there's a U.S. Coast Guard limit, which has always been 12. It's a random number, 12 people to a boat, regardless of the size, right? At one point, there was a maritime attorney in Miami that took a contract to the Coast Guard and said, well, this says charterer plus 12. And then they said, okay, 13. So that number goes back and forth. And above that, though, right, if you want to go above that, then you have to book a commercially certified vessel, which is legally certified for more passengers. There's one we work with in Fort Lauderdale that's certified for just over 50 people. That's great. It's an older style boat, but they take such good care of it. They have a great chef. They offer a great menu. So I do corporate events on that. The Honey Fitz, the presidential yacht. Yep.
I've wanted to do that.
And chartering. Yes. Not cheap, but
not cheap. It's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
They do a great job as well. Was on the boat before the refit as well up in Newport one day. And, you just walk on there and the history is just amazing. You can feel it. You can really feel it. So, yes. So there's boats, for groups that we work with as well. There's more in Miami. So, yes. Basically any sort of group size, any occasion.
What kind of wellness things are you curating for people?
Okay. So actually, this is pretty interesting because even today, I'm dealing with something for this weekend, and food is more important to them than alcohol. Their alcohol list is a lot smaller than you would think. And we find a lot of people now, are not drinking because if they want us to handle the food and beverage, we will. So we're able to gauge that, right? And so now we're actually, instead of gifting, a bottle of champagne or something like that, we're gifting olive oil.
Which I love. You mentioned Fancy Peasant.
I was just going to say, yeah. So I had connected with Anastasia through a mutual friend who has another company that I'm happy to share with you too. And I had seen them doing some stuff and I tried it. Have you ever been to Living with Ivy?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Great.
So anything she carries is amazing, right?
Yeah.
And so I tried it there and I just fell in love with it. And I said, well, let me help you, get some more exposure in the yachting industry. And I'm trying to connect her with some provisioning companies and stuff as well. Love to connect. I'm a big connector.
I love that.
So we're gifting olive oil, which is amazing. And you know her, so you see, an olive oil shot a day, right?
Yes, the skin, incredible for the skin.
It's so good. It's so good. I really like it.
Yeah.
And, I used to work as a chef on boats as well. And so kind of tried a lot of them, but I just feel like it's so clean. I just feel like it's so yummy.
Yeah.
So you can tell it's super high quality.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's good. And people love it.
And you're curating with different brands of things that you have on the boat.
Actually, my girlfriend started this brand, Gorgie. So she's taking on Red Bull, I like to say. This is the healthy energy drink. And she's amazing. We're loving this too. So we're supplying our clients with this. This is a pink lemonade. It has a bunch of different flavors on Amazon, what have you. So I wish you could try this.
I know. The caffeine sensitivity. I'm like the girl in the bubble that you can't,
Right. That's
can't mess up with all my
okay.
things.
That's okay. And then one of our neighbors actually is launching this Slim Bar. Now, can I try it?
Yeah, try it.
I actually haven't tried it yet. Also organic wine, like if somebody wants. So we'll offer. And again, our friend Kavita has a Sip Chennai. I don't know if you know Kavita. She'd be somebody fun for you to have on too. Okay. Vanilla blueberry. I like it.
Pretty good. Yeah, so you'll put stuff like that in, just have them available for the guests. Yeah.
We'll do like a little goodie bag, something like that, a little basket, something like that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. What about are they wanting red light panels? Like, I'm just thinking of all this other wellness stuff that you could.
Haven't done much of that.
Yeah. Do any yachts have saunas on them?
Or the bigger one. Yeah, bigger.
Okay.
Yeah. Bigger one, like a full gym, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, we've hired masseuse, to come on and do that. So that's good. But I do get people calling me, can we do, yoga on a yacht? And I'm like, well, it's not super stable. It's not necessarily the best platform, but maybe.
Maybe you can make it work if you are careful and don't fall overboard.
Right. Exactly. If it's a big enough boat, has a big enough sort of platform or a bow area, that could work. So.
Yeah. And are you seeing more like when you're arranging, just more specifics with food probably for people?
Yes. I mean, this one for this weekend is all, high-end, organic, all of that for sure. Definitely.
And so you're booking any chef or any other people that they need to have on board.
Right, exactly.
Too.
Yep, we'll do that. We also did in Palm Beach, a few sort of curated with a docent to kind of travel around and explain to people, give an idea of the area, historian, something like that.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, because when you're on the water and you're just like seeing things, it could be, well, like, what is that? What's the importance of that, right?
Exactly.
So that's cool to have somebody there. And
that's fun. We actually took Jerry Jones's wife and her friends, a bunch of her friends were in town. So we took them out in their little tender. I got it because we had a 50-foot vintage boat that we were chartering as well. So here in the Hamptons. And sadly, she had damage on the truck coming back a few summers ago. But so, we did that sort of thing. So people would call us for that.
How did your business, was your business affected at all by Below Deck, the show? Did it make it more like people felt like it was more accessible for them, or did people think that it was not based on watching that?
That's a good question. I think it definitely opened people's eyes to the industry. And as far as, working on boats and in the industry, there was definitely an uptick in people wanting to work on boats that a lot of times thought, I felt bad for some of the crew agents, but that's their job, right? To determine this person's good for this person's not so great for this. There's an influx of people who wanted to come work on yachts because they thought it was all fun and shiny and,
Yeah.
But it's work. It's hard work.
It does look like hard work.
It's
I just danced with Captain Carey in
a
charity ballroom dancing competition.
Yeah, I love it.
And he's so fun.
He's great. I know him. He's great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I loved the show. And of course, with anything on TV, it probably gets a little glamorized. But I was thinking, man, growing up here in South Florida, I could have worked on a boat. That would have been a great place to start out and,
It is.
Yeah.
You learn a lot. You have to be able to manage your time, right? And you have to get along with people because you're living in close quarters. And so I'm sure, you see a lot of that on Below Deck.
Yes, the close quarters.
Either you're really getting along or you're not getting along.
Yeah.
One or the other.
What do you think is like misunderstood about the yachting industry?
The fact that it is hard work. And, there's a lot of, Captain Kelly Gordon has really come out and championing mental health and mental health awareness. You know what I mean? So, and I think the fact that it, can be more affordable than people think.
Yeah. Yeah, which I love that.
Right. Exactly. And if you have a group of maybe, 6 is a good number, maybe 8, you can spend maybe $5,000 a person and, go to Bimini for a few days. So, and you have somebody taking care of you. They're attending to your every wish. You're going where you want. I mean, it's the best vacation. It really is.
I was telling you I went on a catamaran in the BVI's, and we had a captain and a chef, and just not having to be responsible for your food.
Exactly.
Not having to be responsible where you're going. Like someone else is taking care of all that. Cleaning. It was incredible.
Right.
What are some of your most popular destinations?
People so we do a lot of intracoastal cruising here. So between, West Palm up to Jupiter, the Sandbar, Peck Island.
Yes.
If you know that, that's
because
a great.
I'm up north.
Oh, okay.
So,
perfect. That's a great little place. We actually discovered that on our boat too. And nobody's out there on the beach. Nobody's ever out there, right?
You're talking about like up in Stewart, right? Yes.
Yep. I think it's a little south of there. Is it like very north Jupiter Island? If I had to look on a map.
Yeah, maybe. Because I'm Hope Sound, so I'm like right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great area.
Okay, cool.
We work with the Floridian Golf Club as well. So we'll pick people up and just sometimes maybe bring them down to 1000 North for dinner, something like that. The Upper Keys, and the Keys are great as well. A short trip over to Bimini. Up north in the summer, which is what we're coming into, all around the Hamptons, Shelter Island, Newport, Nantucket, a little bit of everywhere.
I have not been there.
Okay.
Where's your favorite place?
Gotta get you up there.
I know. I've been wanting to because I don't know why, like living in Florida, I I don't know. I just haven't gone. I haven't even been to the Hamptons. So
okay. It's time.
I'm a newbie. I know.
Let's tell Anastasia. It's time.
Yeah, right?
Perfect.
I'll hit up all the people I know up there.
Yeah.
I know it's like mass exodus people, heading up that way. And I just never have gone. So yeah, I have to check it out.
Did you ever live in New York?
No.
You lived here all your life?
My whole life.
Born and raised. Okay.
A brief stint in Park City, Utah. About 4 years and then came back here.
Okay.
So I'm Floridian. You're
it.
Floridian.
Yep. Clearwater originally.
Wow.
Born and raised. Yes.
But you lived in New York for...
Yes. I was in Tallahassee for school and then Atlanta for 2 years and then New York for about 5 and then came back.
Was that like, got to get to the big city kind of thing?
You know, it's so funny. I was dating someone that wasn't super serious, obviously, or we'd still be together. But he was more of a friend in Atlanta, and he was from New York. And he said, I was just trying to figure out what was next. And I managed this nightclub for friends in Buckhead and worked through the Olympics. And then I went to work. That sort of led into one of the liquor reps wanted to hire me. So I worked for Brown-Forman and I worked at CNN SI at the same time. They had launched CNN SI Sports Illustrated. And then, the beverage job was 6 months and I just said, okay, what's next? I don't know. I just need something bigger and better and bolder. And he's like, you should move to New York City. And I'm like, I think that's a good idea. So I moved up. I did some networking. I had 2 bartending jobs in the Hamptons, kind of in the middle of the summer when I moved up. And I remember, and now it makes sense, but I remember, this one guy was like, how'd you get this bartending job in the middle of the summer? And I'm like, I was a little bit older than them too. I said, well, I don't know. I have experience. Yeah. But they, right? And that's what it's all about. Because now I know, after spending the last 6 summers there, it's so busy in the summer. You need people that are just on it and taking care of all these people, right?
Yes.
So anyway, so that was fun.
I think if you can bartend and you can work in hospitality like that, you can literally do anything.
Right. And you can work anywhere.
Yeah, because you can make, I can see this in you. I can see this like bartender, like you, you could talk about anything, talk to anybody. Right. Yes. And I think that's such an important skill. And we're losing that a little bit, right. As like, I always think, I've said this before, like I would love for my son to do that, but most likely he probably won't do that.
How old is he?
He's 10.
Okay. But
time. Get that experience of.
I always say everyone should wait tables at one point in their life, right? It gives you the people skills, what have you. It's so funny because we actually one of the great restaurants we worked with in Greenport that did a lot of catering with us, he owns a restaurant in the city and my boyfriend's son, we just connected them. And this first day, he's like, oh my gosh, wow, this guy's great. And he's like, I thought I was just hiring a friend's son.
Yeah. But he was really
great.
Good.
He's great. His cousin owns 167 Raw, which institution in Nantucket started as a gourmet seafood market and then expanded. And then they have a food truck there. It's very busy in the summer. And then they also have a couple restaurants in Charleston, but he's worked with him a little bit as well. So he's kind of gotten his feet wet in different places, but he's a go-getter. He's also a musician. So, so we're super excited for that collaboration.
Yeah.
So, but he's getting like boot camp training this week for serving and wine. They have like a great wine program, but it's great. You can use it anytime, anywhere, the rest of your life.
I think it's a great skill. I say, do that and then move on to something else. But like it's such a great skill. Great skills are generated there in restaurants. I think that as well. Because I just remember just making contacts with people. And I actually had a guy that had come in and he was assistant to somebody at NBC, and I was in college and I was in a communication major and, he asked me to make him a reel. Right. And I never made the reel. I was too freaked out to do it and I never did it. And I always think, I should have done that. But, at that time I didn't understand the power of where those things could lead. Right.
100%.
Yeah.
It just reminded me, growing up in Clearwater, and I worked at Cha-Cha Coconuts, which is part of the Columbia restaurant.
Okay.
Group.
Columbia.
I think they still have the Spanish. I think they still have a few of the Cha-Chas, but that was before I went away to Florida State. And during spring training, the guys from the Phillies would come in. So it was Lenny Dykstra, John Crook, Darren Dalton, and they were so fun. And they would just come in, every Sunday and drink margaritas, and we had a blast. They were a lot of fun.
So fun. I remember I was waiting tables at a barbecue restaurant, a local barbecue restaurant in Palm Beach County. And I had a tray of bottles of Budweiser. Okay. And it was just a bunch of bottles. Well, I hit a little something in all those bottles. It took out like 20 people because they just started to peel off like from every which direction. Right. Later I found out they were it was the Budweiser family that I had taken out with all of these bottles of Budweiser.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
And here I had no money to my name, and I like offered to dry clean their clothes and everything.
Right. I mean, you have to at least care.
And I knew my manager was like gonna like take it out of my paycheck. Like they were gonna make sure I paid for it, but they were like, no, it's okay. They were very, very kind. But yeah,
it's so funny.
So I always think, yeah, I did that to the Budweiser family.
Right.
Knocked them all out with
oh my
bottles
gosh,
of Bud.
that's hilarious. I wonder which one we actually had. Well, we were working with someone at one point, but that's so funny. Yeah. That's great. That's great.
I know.
Never a dull moment in a restaurant.
No, never a dull moment. And I'm sure never a dull moment with what you're doing. What is like the wildest request that someone's ever had?
It might not sound so wild, but in my opinion, it was not smart. Fire twirlers.
Oh.
No.
No, not with that.
Absolutely not.
Delicate furniture and stuff that's on boats.
Yeah, just not only that, but I mean, you see boat fires all the time, right? I mean, it's just dangerous regardless, So, yeah.
Yeah.
Electrical fire, like fumes, all of it. Just,
not a good idea.
No. Let me see. Oh, actually, this was actually a little crazy. So, a couple. Once I start thinking about them, then they really sort of come in.
Then you're like, oh, there's really some wild things
So
happening.
this was a referral through another broker. So, I kind of knew who he was, what have you. Anyway, it was picking someone up. Well, there were a couple actually. He wanted us to pick someone up he was trying to get them into the States illegally, basically, is what it was. And I think it was it was a baseball player from maybe Dominican or something like that, and I'm like, we need passports. We need all this, Couldn't provide it. Just super shady, super shady. And then there was another one. This is when I originally thought of where this was a one-way. And when the boat got down to the Bahamas, they came on and the captain sent me a message. It's like, I don't know, this seems a little weird. They have no luggage. It's an older gentleman and a younger girl.
No luggage, red flag.
I mean, it could have been like human trafficking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we know. Yeah. And he's like, she's sitting way over there like this. And I'm just like we all got a bad feeling. And he said that when they came back into Miami and they, docked and he was on the phone clearing in with customs, he went down to get his phone charger because his phone was dying. And he came up and they're running down the dock. Both of them. Just like totally, yeah.
Whoa. So like, what do you think was happening there? Something not good.
Like, call the police. I mean, I don't know. That was crazy.
That is crazy. Are there different, because I've heard this on cruise ships, like the international, or when you're a certain mileage offshore, right? I mean,
international waters.
Yeah. Do the rules apply? Do standard rules apply? Laws?
I mean,
yeah.
Oh.
But people are trying to get away with some things, maybe.
Yep. And the one, just trying to like get somebody in the country and send it. I think they sent us, it was just obvious. They were either fake passports or just, they were doctored. And yeah.
So wild.
I was like, I can't believe you're even asking me to do this.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved in this.
No. I bet you can sniff it out now. You're like, that's not a good scenario.
Right.
Will you refuse somebody's business if it
oh
doesn't
yeah,
seem
for
right?
sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And there's a lot of fraud, so we don't really take credit cards. You know what I mean? It's either wires or what have you. But there was another sort of funny one that they were filming this commercial. It was, if I said it, you would know it. It was like a animated Angry Birds.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember that? Okay, so something in the Bahamas, maybe Angry Birds 2. And the shipping was obviously super expensive for all the equipment, so they chartered a boat. And there was this one captain that would kind of do whatever. He took mattresses, and it was like a 75-foot boat, out of the boat, everything, and just stored all this equipment, sent me pictures. I'm like, God love you, okay. If you want to do this, yeah. And just boxes of production equipment and everything, yeah. It was cheaper than shipping it.
I guess so, huh?
Yeah.
Who is your dream charter guest?
Probably my boyfriend, but he doesn't know it yet. George Clooney.
Oh.
Actually, my boyfriend does look like George Clooney.
You would have to take his whole family, I guess.
I'll take them all.
And the kids.
I'll take them all. Actually, my boyfriend and I were George and Amal for Halloween 2 years ago.
Oh my God, that's
that was
great.
so funny.
I was thinking I want to be Rip and Beth they have this new spinoff now, the Yellowstone spinoff, Dutton Ranch.
Right.
I was like, we could pull that off.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It's
So
fun to do stuff like that. I had the coffee cup, the jacket.
Yes.
It was fun.
Okay, so he's your
Yes.
dream. Yeah.
Yes. One day.
Yeah. He'll look. Well, he's sailing around Lake Como, right?
I know, right? I know. I have to
Could
just
you
put
arrange
myself
that?
over there.
You could arrange something in Lake Como if Dhardra, I'm going to hit you up.
It's coming.
Figure this out.
My mind is
Get
spinning.
me on a boat
It's
in
coming.
an
It's
exotic
coming.
location.
It will happen. It will happen.
What's your favorite European destination?
Greece is amazing.
Yeah.
Sad to say, I have not been to Croatia yet.
Oh yeah, I've heard great things about
I'm
Croatia.
actually a quarter Croatian.
You are.
Yes,
oh my
but
gosh,
not,
you gotta get out there.
Back far.
Yeah.
I know. I need to, actually. A friend of mine just sent me a message yesterday. She's like, do you know anyone who's available to chef on this catamaran for a week in June in Croatia? And I literally almost said, wait.
Me. Yeah.
Before I could even think twice about it, they hired somebody.
Oh wow. They were
The thought was there. I'm like,
it could make it work. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I've heard that's the way to see the Greek islands by boat.
Definitely in Croatia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Bucket list trip. Okay. So Croatia is one of your dream destinations. Where else?
Greece.
Yeah.
More around Italy. Yes. Because I mean, when I was there, I was working on boats. So, you see Europe out of a porthole.
Yeah. And you're detailing the itinerary for somebody when they go to these destinations?
Or based on where they want to go.
Okay.
They let us know where they want to go, and then we'll sort of customize that with the captain and figure that out. I did have a client once who booked, poor guy, in Greece. And it was a couple years back. They had a week charter planned, and they were in maybe Santorini, and there was I guess it happens every sort of every couple of years, crazy storm in Greece. They would not let boats out of the port in Athens. He's standing on the island. The sun is shining. Where's my boat? And I said, they're not allowing any boats to leave. So that was not fun.
Wow.
He ended up getting a couple days, and a bit of a refund, unfortunately. But
yeah. What about
weather is weather is weather. I mean, that's nothing we can control. So that's the biggest aspect that's an issue of doing what we do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can't predict and you can't control. So
you are booked no matter what. If it's past the cancellation and the weather turns bad, you're booked and that's what it is.
Right. And if there's a named storm, then that's when that constitutes a refund.
Okay.
But if it's, just raining outside or what have you, and the captain basically determines, right, if it's a safety issue or not.
Okay.
So, and then that's where that falls into place.
How with gratuity for crew and stuff, I would love to get into that a little bit because is it, there's so many different members and maybe there's different rankings of crewmates
it should be split evenly.
Okay.
100%.
So you would give 20% off the top of the charter price and then they divide.
On the charter fee, yes. Not on, the tax or the APA or anything like that. Yes, on the base charter fee.
Okay, on the charter fee. I always see that part of Below Deck where they're going through the envelope and it's so stressful, wanting these people to get the money that they're due,
Yeah, like I said, it's work hard. So it's a lot of hard work for sure.
Yeah, definitely a lot of hard work.
And there's different nationalities of guests that, like to stay up later or eat later, So you're working different hours and
yeah, I could see that. I would be a good charter guest because I'm in bed by 9 p.m.
Perfect.
I'm okay, I'm ready to go to sleep. I want to eat well.
And get up early. And,
do all the daytime things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
we'll have to get you on.
Early to bed.
Perfect. That's smart, though. It's smart. It's good.
I know. Is there anything else you want to talk about? LuxuryDayCharters.com, which I love that you put that in the name.
Yes. Thank you. Just that really appreciate this opportunity to come and chat with you.
So glad we could connect.
Yeah, for sure. And that it is more affordable than people think. And, we book all over the world. So here if anyone needs.
Yeah, reach out. So LuxuryDayCharters.com and you're on Instagram. You're active on Instagram.
Day Charters,
love that. Yes.
I was hacked at one point, so glad to get back on there.
Yes. Oh, isn't that devastating?
It's annoying. And ironically enough, it was sort of serendipitous. We were on Shelter Island and happened to walk by someone who had a 167 Raw shirt on. And we said hello. And, my boyfriend talked about the family, that they own it. And we started chatting for a minute. Turned out the guy works for Facebook. And I said, my account was recently hacked. Can you help me? Send an email to his assistant right then and there. And I had it back in like a week.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
He's not there anymore, unfortunately, but I know. He did help another friend, but
yeah, because you can't
try
get
everything.
hold of anybody.
I know.
Yeah.
So
wow, that was your lucky.
That was crazy.
Yeah, you probably cultivated that account over so much time.
Yeah. We work hard, right?
That's right. That's
to build the brand. And
yeah, you do.
Yes.
And the social media. How do you view social media? Is it sometimes it feels like a road to nowhere? For me, I'm like, there's no ending, there's no stopping point of that. It's just continuous.
Exactly.
Going on and on until the end of time.
Exactly.
Do you have a good relationship with it? Like you just have to do it and
I don't mind doing it. I like it, but I think, a lot of times, we get sucked in and then, drill down and you're lost in rabbit holes and, which can be interesting though, when you find different things. And it's funny because when I worked for the internet marketing company, research was a big part of my job, but it was, and I like that. I mean, I could probably research all day long. I do like that a lot.
Yeah. What is your advice? Because you're a female entrepreneur, you started your company when you were 40. Right?
Yeah.
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 So what is your advice for female entrepreneurs?
I see a lot of things. I read a lot of things. I'm a member of an organization called Entreprenista as well. If you don't know them,
Stephanie.
do you know Entreprenista?
Yeah,
exactly.
Stephanie,
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, and, a lot of times I see confidence, right? Confidence is obviously key. That was never really an issue for me for whatever reason. But I think just believe in yourself and believe that, you can do what you want to do, what you set out to do. I think, we hear that from a lot of female entrepreneurs, right? Sarah Blakely, for one.
I love her.
I know. We actually went to rival high schools and we used to hang out at the island parties.
Oh, no way. She's one of my dream guests. You talk about dream, charter guests. She's like my dream podcast.
I know.
Podcast
100%.
Guest. Yeah,
100%.
she's amazing.
She's great. But yeah, I mean, we only live once, right? So if there's something you want to do, go out and do it.
Why do you think you were so confident? Because you said that was not really an issue for you.
That's an interesting question. I don't know, probably just upbringing, you know. I think, our mom always said, there were never any, the rules were just don't drink and drive and don't do drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other than that, have fun.
Yeah.
And so I think we were kind of given that free rein to just be ourselves and experience things and, kind of forge our own path. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And actually, she invented Happy Daughter's Day.
Your mom?
Yes. We had Happy Daughter's Day when I was, 1. And then, the third Sunday in July. And what's funny? As I got older, I actually wrote into Hallmark and I said, let's make this a holiday. And I literally got an email back saying, we don't take outside submissions.
No way.
And now there's a holiday, right? Which I think is in August. So I find that funny.
Oh,
but
my
yeah,
gosh.
she would. So every year she dresses in the same. I have 2 sisters. We're all a year apart.
Yeah.
She would dress us in the same outfits, and we would go to a local attraction for the day, whether it was Disney or Busch Gardens or growing up in Clearwater. As we got older, it was we got a Windsor for 1 year, and then we go to dinner in a limo, and she put an article in the paper.
Oh my
so
God!
So it's all documented.
What a cool mom!
Yeah, I know.
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
I love that.
Rest in peace, Jackie.
Oh, Jackie.
Yeah, 100%.
She gave you such a badass name too, Dhardra. I love it.
I know,
I'm
right?
obsessed.
And she actually moved to Florida. She came down with her girlfriend, drove in a convertible, and came down and ended up staying.
Wow, like Thelma and Louise, huh?
I know, right?
Love it.
Maybe that's where the confidence comes from.
Yeah, I can see it. I love it. I'm all about that.
Yes.
So I always like to ask women because it's something that so many women struggle with. So yeah.
It's true, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
But you know what? Nobody's really thinking. I think my confidence has grown over the years because I realize nobody's really giving a shit what I'm doing. You know, I'm the one that's caring more.
Right.
I'm the one that's self-conscious, but
Right.
they really don't care.
Right.
You know,
we
just
all
do
are.
your thing.
100%.
Yeah.
Right? We all are. Exactly. Do your own thing. Somebody has an issue with it, that's their problem.
Yeah, exactly. And on that note.
And I think a lot of hatred stems from jealousy as well.
Yeah.
Sadly. So a lot of, hater mentality stems from jealousy. Life is too short. Be happy.
That's right. That's right. On that note, I love it. Dhardra Blake, thank you so much for being here.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of The Cinnamon Effect. If you enjoyed our time together, don't forget to hit that follow button on your podcast app and sprinkle a little love by leaving us a 5-star rating and a quick review. Your support means the world to me. For even more goodness, check out the show notes where you'll find links to some of my favorite products. And don't forget to visit thecinnamoneffect.com to connect with me directly or to grab your TCE Gratitude Journal, your next step towards a more grateful life. I can't wait to spice things up with you again next time. Stay vibrant, stay inspired, and remember to add a little cinnamon to your life every day.